This afternoon, I'm talking to Lucie Sadler, and Lucie's the head of content at Hyve Managed Hosting, who have an office in the centre of Brighton. Lucie was planning to take one of our Shoreham Academy students for work experience, and obviously we're not doing that at the moment, Lucie. So thank you very much for being with us on interview to give the students a bit of an understanding of your industry and what you do. Can you start by telling us a little bit about Hyve and about what your day is like, your typical day is like?
Yeah, sure. So Hyve is a cloud hosting company, which I'm not sure if many people will know exactly what that is, but we essentially help keep businesses online. So think of any online shop or ticketing website that needs to be kept up online at all times. We help ensure that their websites are running smoothly, they're secure, and we provide a lot of businesses with that peace of mind that they can rely on Hyve to fix any problems that they have and keep their business up and running online.
So you're used to working sort of in the virtual world, as it were, which a lot of us are now having to do a lot more.
Yeah, definitely. So whilst I do normally work in an office in the centre of Brighton, all the work that we do is, we're helping all these companies remotely. And especially during the current situation, we've actually helped a lot of businesses get themselves up and running so they can run their businesses from home or from whatever location they're in. So yeah, technology has been very vital recently.
Oh, absolutely. So thank goodness for organisations like yourselves. Yeah. So in your role as head of content, what does that mean, Lucie, and what does a typical day look like for you?
Yeah, so it's quite a varied role. Essentially, I'm responsible for all of the written communications about the company. So I write content for the website, blogs, PR articles. I plan how to engage with our audience on social media. So it kind of encapsulates any communication from the company, just making sure it's all on brand and we're saying the right thing, pushing out the right messages. So yeah, it is a very varied role, which is really useful, and it's really interesting to not have to just work on one project at one time. I'm spinning lots of different plates, working on many projects. So I actually work in a marketing team. So there's myself, and then there's some content writers. We've got people that run the Google advertising. We've got web developers, web designers, and then we have a video team as well that make all of our video content for our YouTube channel and our website as well.
So I guess because you're writing about all of that, you need to have a pretty good understanding of what everybody does.
Exactly, yeah. You're sort of working on one project within a team of lots of other people, and everybody brings all of their skills to each project. So it is a really nice way to work as part of a wider marketing team. So my team's writing all the words and the written communications, and then we pass it on to the next person that will prepare it to go onto the website or to translate it into a video. So it's a lot of teamwork, making sure that all the projects work smoothly together.
Fantastic. Well, that links nicely to what I sent you in advance about our skills. Yeah. So at the Academy, we encourage all our students to build themselves sort of holistically, all the different sort of soft skills that they can that help transfer into any industry sector, really, because we always try and say to them, you can learn the job, the company will teach you the job. What you're going with is the core skills, that you're good at. So for you in your role, what top 3 skills did you choose and why, Lucie?
So the top 3 skills I chose were, first of all, creativity. So in my role, that's the most important thing, is to come up with creative ideas for any articles that I'm writing, or different ways to engage with our audience on social media, and just different ways to present material, because in the technology industry, something might be very difficult to understand, and we have to find a way to really cleverly create a piece of writing that's going to appeal to someone that wants to buy the product. So a lot of it is coming up with very clever ideas to present information. So yeah, creativity, number 1 top skill. Second is teamwork. as I mentioned, I'm working in a wider marketing team, and we have to work together on projects, and communicating and collaborating together is vital, especially whilst we're working from home at the moment. Whereas normally we all sit next to each other in the office, whereas now we've had to adapt to use these Zoom video calls or different software to collaborate together on different projects to make sure we're always working together. And it's, you know, I might have a skill that someone in my team doesn't have, and then somebody else might be brilliant at doing something else. And then if we put all of those skills together, we're a dream team, you know, we're really all working well together. And then linked to that one, the other skill I think that's really important is listening. Because part of working in a creative role is to always take other people's ideas and thoughts on board. Because, you know, someone might have a beginning of an idea and they just need your help to make it into a really great idea, as well as getting feedback from the rest of your team. You know, if you may think something is really speaking to other members of the team, they might be able to help you develop the idea. So yeah, listening is really important, especially when you're collaborating together. Yeah, always listening for feedback and advice as well from, you know, more mature members of the team. It's really helpful.
I absolutely would agree, and I think, as you say, we're all having to adapt now, aren't we? From if we're used to just sitting in a room and being able to easily engage with each other, we're suddenly having to think quite differently about what teamwork is.
Yeah.
And for our young people, they're all at home, or the vast majority of them are at home, trying to learn, and where they're used to being with their classmates and sort of back and forth conversations. So yeah, it's a really interesting time. But teamwork, I think, comes through from pretty much everybody I speak to. Even if you think you work on your own, you still rely on other people, don't you? It's really important.
Yeah, it's really, really important.
Lucie, can you tell me a bit about how what got you into the industry that you're in? You know, did you have a specific path into this, or did you sort of fall into it? How did that happen for you?
So I'll give you just a brief background about my career so far. So I did A-levels at college, and then I had a gap year where I lived and worked in France for a year, just improving my language skills. And then when I was 19, I went to university. So I went to the University of Sussex in Brighton, where I studied English and linguistics. And then during my time at uni, I started trying to think of different careers that I could pursue related to my main interest, which is language and communication. So I kept thinking, well, being a writer is probably not going to pay the bills. So I had to think of a way to find my interests and work out how I could sort of find a job in that field. And luckily in Brighton, we have a fantastic creative industry, a really thriving creative industry. So there's a community board called Wired Sussex in Brighton. That's a brilliant job board as well. So I just started looking on there for kind of graduate level jobs. And then the job at Hyve came up. So I did a few internships before, writing internships and some freelance work. But the job at Hyve was actually my first sort of proper graduate job. And I've been at the company for 7 years now. And I've progressed from a content writer to a content manager, and now I'm head of content.
Fantastic. So it's the kind of organisation where you've been able to work your way up.
Yeah. So I came in obviously as a grad. I hadn't really had too much experience apart from the internships and a few things. I joined the team and just managed to really thrive in the role, and luckily was given the progression that I needed to where I am now.
Fantastic. That's wonderful to hear. And for our young people, often you talked about English and writing and the creative writing and language. And it's so interesting. I was interviewing somebody the other day who did a very similar degree to yours and has gone into game design and development. So it's helping young people to see that actually if you do something like English, it's very, very broad where it could take you.
Yeah, definitely.
And you could still write a novel on the side if you want to.
Yeah, I am. I'm writing many. That's like actually a dream of mine, yeah. So that's another thing. Even if your job doesn't actually end up, you can still have other passions outside of work, and you can actually still, you know, learn languages and write books and learn how to code. There's so many things you can do outside of your job as well. It doesn't mean you have to stop learning.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a key message for our young people is you never stop learning.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm always doing courses and learning new skills in my job now as well, which is really good.
Fantastic. That leads me on nicely to the question. So our year 12s would have been going on their work experience, but the year group that I'm particularly focusing on as well is the year 13 students. So the ones who aren't going to university, who've made that decision, or who've decided maybe that university might not be the most attractive option now because it might be more virtual. If they're at home now, there's nothing else they can do towards their qualifications. What if they were thinking of an industry like yours and they're going to be starting to look for work and they want the best chance? Is there anything you'd recommend they could be doing now, whether it's online courses or doing other things to develop themselves? Is there anything that you would suggest?
Yeah, definitely. So especially within marketing and content writing, there are so many resources online for free, training courses. That would be a great place to start. Or you learning the basic Google Academy or analytics courses. They're free online for anyone to do. I think it's a really useful time to show potential employers that, you know, during this time you haven't actually just sort of watched TV or played PlayStation. You've really committed to your learning and development. So you could say, well, yes, I've completed 5 courses during this time. And then I actually think a lot of the courses are great as well. There's I mean, I could share them with you if the learners wanted to know, but content marketing, any online Google courses are brilliant. So yeah, just committing to learning skills, because also if you may not ever have this time again where you're not studying or you're not working. So this is actually a really brilliant time to skill up. And I think I would be impressed if somebody came to an interview for a junior role and said, yeah, I've actually off my own back, I've gone ahead and learned all of these skills myself. So I think that's definitely one thing. Also, if the person doesn't really have an idea about which industry they want to go into, even just researching some jobs online or looking on LinkedIn at what kind of jobs other people do and finding out about them and seeing, you know, can I apply some of the skills that I have to that role? It's all good work experience, I think. Just trying out lots of different things, improving your people skills, learning about the working world. As technology develops, new jobs are being created all the time. So even when I was leaving school, there's jobs now that exist that didn't then, you know, in artificial intelligence and cybersecurity, all that kind of thing as technology develops. So who knows, in the next few years, they could be working in a job we've never heard of.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why we focus so much on the skills, because as I was saying, you can learn the technical side of a job.
It's the core skills.
Yeah, and it's coming to it with, as you say, listening is so important. It comes up time and again, staying positive and aiming high and, you know, working together. They're all things that if you're an employer, you're going to look for. In terms of the sort of creative writing, I'm quite interested in whether if a young person's thinking, I quite like the idea of writing content or writing blogs, would it be beneficial if they were coming for an interview in a junior role, like the first one that you did? Would it be beneficial if they'd done some of that and they had like a virtual portfolio?
Yeah, so I would say in any creative job, actually, not just writing, but in graphic design, web design, anything like that, you need to have a portfolio. So obviously in a junior role, the expectations are less because, you know, you haven't really had the opportunity to create that much. But I would say having an active blog, personal blog, to give yourself a platform to write on would be a really good idea. Even doing some sort of basic freelance work. There's quite a lot of online freelancing sites, which are very low paid, but it does give you the opportunity to just try out something, you know, writing a tiny bit of content for a website. Yeah, having a portfolio is important, just to show that you can actually write well, because it's easy enough to say that you can, but showing that you can use different tones of voice or style, because obviously writing an essay for college will be very different to writing a blog for a company's website. So
right, so try and show those different styles. Fantastic. That's really, really helpful information, Lucy. And what I'll do is I'll probably grab some useful links from you, and I'll put them on the as well.
Yeah, I can share any of the training online and the freelancing sites. Yeah, because that's what I did myself when I was I did some freelancing just to try and get a bit of experience. And so monetary reward isn't very good, but it does, you can then say, okay, well, I've got 10 pieces of quite good articles or content I've written that you can show the prospective employer.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think that's what it's all about, isn't it? Just standing up above other people when you're going for that job.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there anything else before we finish up, Lucy, that you'd like to add?
I'm just thinking, I was just thinking back to when I was pre-university age, and I think there is a lot of unnecessary pressure that we all put on ourselves to sort of get this job, but I just think it's important to, in any job you're doing, you know, even if you're doing a bit of part-time work now in a supermarket or, you know, anything like that, you're still learning. And I think a lot of people forget that. It's all really valuable work experience. Because I think back really fondly actually now to my part-time jobs that I had. Because you don't, at the time you think, oh, it's a bit of money, you're just earning, but you actually do, you're learning so much about the working world, how to deal with people in different situations. And as well, kind of gaining a bit more confidence, which all these things are going to be used in finding a job later down the line. So yeah, I just would say also don't forget that everyone's in the same situation as the year 12 and 13s now. Everyone is, so they're not missing out because all of us are locked down. Yeah, nobody's really able to go out and get a job right now, which is why I think using the resources that we do have, so the internet is the major thing, is just to learn and research and do as much as you can whilst you're at home. I mean, another thing I've realised that they could do is to sort of research some companies in the area that they live and see if they actually offer internship programs or apprenticeships, because many companies may even do a week's work experience program, or there could be opportunities there, and it's worth getting in touch now for the future when businesses are open again. Because I did an internship when I was 18, and that was just volunteering at a local magazine. So I was writing a few articles a week, and I just emailed them and said, you know, I've studied this at A level, I really want some experience, would there be a chance for me to come in? And after, you know, it took a little bit of back and forth, but then they said yes, that's fine. So that's you know, even just politely approaching some companies and saying, I would love to, just be enthusiastic, say I'd love to come and find out about your business and learn some skills on the job. Because usually it doesn't, you know, it's not really going to be too much bother for the company themselves, as long as all the health and safety things are passed. You know, I think it's worth it. Or even friends and family, you may know someone, one of your parents or families, friends, they may know someone that works in an industry that's really interesting. You know, find out if you could go in for a few days and learn about how it all works.
Yeah, that's really valuable. I always say to young people, you don't realise you've already got a network of people around you. It's just a case of asking. And actually, we're impressed, aren't we, when a young person
definitely
actually puts themselves out there and asks the question, you know, how can I learn from you? Can you tell me what you do? So that's really valuable, Lucie.
Yeah, or even mentor, anyone that could even offer you a bit of mentorship, someone that isn't in your immediate family, maybe. That might be easier.
Lucie, thank you very, very much for your time, and hopefully we'll get a chance to invite you into the academy to meet some students at some point.
Yeah, we'd love to be able to do that, and also to actually have a person in for work experience when the time is right.
When we can. Fabulous, thank you.